Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name's Wes. Wants that feat on all his rangers moving forward. You'll learn the one I'm talking about. Today's video, we are doing Obojima feats part 2. If you haven't seen the first one, link in the description down below. And let's get right into it with member of the AHA. I thought it was a different organization at first. Anyway, they're going to gain a +1 to your intelligence. You're going to gain a +1 to your intelligence with this feat. Also, you're going to gain the jolt cantrip, which is kind of like shock and grass. Well, it does electric damage. Anyway, that cantrip, I believe, is unique to Obojima because it interacts with tech. Obojima has a bunch of like old 80s tech around. So it interacts with that. You're also going to gain your choice first level spells from Detect Magic, Comprehend Language, Identify, or Illusionary Script. Once per day. You know the spellcasting trivial rules talk here. But intelligence is your spellcasting modifier for it. So that's member of the AHA, not a bad cantrip for a wizard or artificer, or anyone who just wants a little bump to their int. Because there's no prerequisite for this one. Then our next one, minor corruption. So corruption is a thing to Obojima, but you can flavor corruption in all types of different ways. Your character does something, touches something, makes a pact with someone. Oh, they get a little bit of minor corruption, you know? But what this does is you gain a +1 to your AC when you're bloodied. Doesn't say bloodied, it says when you're half health, but bloodied. And then you're also going to gain the ability to use your corruption or your body, whatever your corruption is, as a spellcasting focus. So you don't actually need a spellcasting focus. Then, as a reaction, when you take damage, you can reduce that damage by a third of your level, 3 times your level. However, any extra damage still carries over. You're still going to take that. However, the damage that you negated, you will take later on. You just have to make a con save. So after you use this ability, at the end of each of your turns, you're going to make a con save, and if you fail, you take that damage that you negated. After a minute, let's say if you succeed each one, after a minute passes, you're just going to take that damage anyway. Not bad. Kind of cool, kind of thematic. Next, we have our species feats. Now, I haven't seen a species feat since Xanathars or Eberron. I'm not sure which one came out first, but the double-bladed scimitar for the elf. Either way, nakudama. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this is for Adara. You have your first one, Nakudama's electric bloodline. You gain resistance to electric damage. You're also going to have this cool ability, my favorite ability, guys. This is like Chef's Kiss. Your unarmed strikes gain the finesse property and reach. I don't know how important the second part is, but finesse, that means you can sneak attack, unarmed strike, finesse, rogue, monk, dance bard. And either way, you have some multi-class option potential here. Or just some good class option potential here. And the second part of that feat is, your unarmed strikes also deal lightning damage. They can use a dex instead of strength. So once again, really good synergy with stuff like rogue, monk, or dance bard. Continuing on, the feat also gives you the so when someone grapples you, you can use your reaction and make them make a saving throw. If they fail the con save, then they take lightning damage, 1d10 lightning damage, and the grapple ends. So they don't take damage. There's no half damage on a save, on a success, but if they fail, grapple just ends, which is really cool. Then we're gonna have the Nakudama's toxic bloodline, gain resistance to poison damage. You have advantage on saves against the poison condition and guess ending for the poison condition. Then you have a really cool ability so the Dora are kind of like frog folk, and you're a toxic frog. You can fill your throat with like poison and spit. You get to spit on your enemies up to your proficiency bonus worth of enemies up to 30 feet away. Any of them have to make a con save or take some poison damage. It's 1d8. Nothing happens if they succeed, though. But You can just everyone poison. Anyway, so next we have Postal Knight, which I guess you can kind of think of this sort of like skill expert, except the expertise. You're not going to gain expertise. You're going to gain something a little different. Your options are +1 wisdom or +1 con, athletics or survival. And then the third part of this feature is not expertise. It is exhaustion does not give you disadvantage. Depends on your exhaustion rolls. DMs, if it doesn't work with your exhaustion rolls, make it work with your exhaustion rolls. There we go. Next, we have Potion Brewer. Potion Brewer is going to give you like sort of like the Witch Apprentice feat from the last one. It's related to the potions. Obojima has a bunch of unique potions to their setting, and crafting rolls, which are for those potions, are different as well. One of the cool things about this is you can roll percentile dice and you can possibly make 2 potions whenever you go to make one. And, you can choose, like, when you pick your potion ingredients, you get to pick whatever, like, the most powerful one of those ingredients is. Something like that. If you're using the crafting rules from Obojima, use it. If you're not, then, well, you're probably not. Well, we have another sword skull, and this one is Tellula's and Scales Master Cut. I love the idea of having... I'll save that. All right, so first thing, this is for versatile weapons, like the longsword. So if you're holding it with one hand and somebody attacks you and they miss, they take damage. Yes, you don't deal the damage. They just take damage equal to twice your proficiency bonus. It's like reverse graze. I mean, if your enemy had the graze property, you would take damage, but then they take double damage, which is even funnier. So that's pretty cool. The second part is if you're wielding a versatile weapon with 2 hands, then when somebody misses you with an attack, you can use your reaction, make them make a dex save, and if they fail, they are knocked prone. So first one, they miss you, they take damage. Second one, they miss you, they're on the floor. Pretty cool feature. The next school we are going to is Toraf's and Boulder's Master Cut. Now, this is our third sword fighting school or sword style school. I would love to have a character go to all 3 and try to become a sword master, maybe like a battle master swords bard. Or, one school is for blade singers, one school is for swords bards. The other one's could be battle masters. Could also, I'm not throwing a hex blade. You get your powers through other means. But yeah, this feat is gonna... It's sort of like called shots. Dungeon Master's Guide, the 2014 Dungeon Master's Guide had optional class features or had optional roles. Some of them were called shots. This is going to let you do that. However, you're going to have to take a -5 to hit. And sort of like Great Weapon Master or Sharpshooter, the old ones, they are... You got that -5 to hit. But you don't get +10 damage. You gain like sort of... Think like Slasher, Piercer, or Crusher. Kind of like those, but you don't need to crit. You just have to take a -5 to hit, which is honestly just as difficult. I played a lot of Warhammer, or not, well, I do play a lot of Warhammer, but I played a lot of Warframe and Genshin Impact back in the day, and I will tell you one thing, accuracy is the most important thing. I don't care about the damage. You don't do damage if you don't hit. Well, Graze lets you do damage if you don't hit, but that's very little damage. So, accuracy, most important. -5, not worth it. However, if you do want to use these, the head strike is going to let you... it's the Vex property. The leg strike is the slow property, and torso strike, it's like you're casting silence on an enemy. Well, you hit them and they can't speak for a round. So really good on spellcasters, but I don't know if it's worth the -5. So then after that, we have Vocalist Arcanist. This is a really cool feature. This is basically going to give you expertise in spellcasting, guys. You're going to double your proficiency bonus when you cast a spell that targets a creature. First, though, you have to make a performance check. If you pass the check, because the DC is based on the spell's level, then you gain you get expertise. Your proficiency doubles. So for your chance to hit, it's definitely going to hit. your saving throw, they're definitely most likely going to fail their saving throw. Depending where you are, you may even get a +6 to your spell save DC, which is ridiculous. It's awesome. It's really powerful, and you can do this up to 3 times per day. Your DM has to, well, you have to do it before the creature makes the save or before you roll the attack roll. Other than that, this feat's amazing. Then we have our final feat and the reason for my intro, Wetland Explorer. DMs, give this to your rangers. If they are playing a Tasha's Ranger or a 2024 Revised Ranger, give this to them for free, no questions asked, all right? Even if they're like, oh, wait, I get a free feat? I don't want it. You're going to take it. Because it adds the flavor back to rangers in the sense of you choose 2 creature types. You gain, you can add your proficiency bonus to initiative if you're going against those creatures. You can add a +5 to your stealth checks if you're trying to avoid them, a +5 if you're trying to track them with survival, and a +2 to hit. This is amazing. I love this feat. And the survival, yeah, this is that. Give them that +5 to survival. That's how you know this is a ranger and not a rogue. So that's actually been all of our feats. Thank you guys for joining me. My name's been Wes. Where's the fun? I hope this has been fun for you guys. And once again, if you saw my short, you would know I'm not going to be doing the subclass tier list because I have dyslexia. Reading from the teleprompter is difficult because I don't have the option to change the font of that teleprompter font. And so I don't want to feel like an idiot reading and stuttering on camera. Sorry, guys. I could just have AI replicate my voice and do it, but I don't want to. So I don't know, maybe if I have like 10,000 subscribers one day, or if I get a 10,000 likes on my reel for it, I'll do the video because then I know you guys want to see it and will bear with me and my problems. So, sorry for the insecurities. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye. Have a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.